Yes guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today I am going to be talking about banners and why it's best to just not spend on them right now. I'm going to go into depth as to why that is and why I think it's just best to not spend on new units when they come out, and my experience in doing so. Let's just have a look at my box, because I think that's the best way to demonstrate it, and also my teams. As you can see there, 3 Zenkais, that's kind of an indication as to why you shouldn't be spending on banners right now. It's just plagued by Zenkais, literally. My box is just a Zenkai fest. And I really find this sad, but I'm going to use an example that I really hate using because it pains me to say it, but this guy right here. He's not even a month old and he's already been replaced. Like literally today, well, as of the day of recording this, he's already been replaced. And it's really sad because yes, I have him at 3 stars. I was lucky enough to pull him, but why would I use him when I can just Zenkai this guy? Like, it makes no sense whatsoever to use that Gogeta Blue when I can just Zenkai this Vegeta. And yes, I can use this Vegeta to Zenkai buff the Gogeta Blue, but he's still not going to be as good as this Vegeta is, just because the stats on a Zenkai are just ridiculous. And I mean, look at that. You cannot compare that to a 3-star legendary finish unit, who even in the terms of non-Zenkais isn't the best. The fact that the new units have been so underwhelming is pretty sad to me, to be honest. I just don't understand why they've done it this way. This banner was fantastic, and obviously I do say don't summon on banners, stuff like that. This banner's a must summon, and I do understand why people would summon for Gogeta Blue and Broly and even UI Goku, because I have myself. And the reason is, of course, they're new characters. You want to use new characters because they got new animations, they look really cool, and why wouldn't you want to use a unit that looks fantastic? Everyone would want to do that, and I understand that, and that's why I've summoned on these banners too. But the fact is, you don't use them then in PvP. I mean, in PvP, it's plagued but with Zenkais. It's literally plagued with Zenkais. You've got God Key, which has Goku Blue and now has the yellow God Vegeta. Some family has the 3 cancerous Zenkais that we all know and love. The Zenkai Gohan, the Namek Goku, and of course the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Then we have the Trinity, you know, Bardock and Super Gogeta. This is what I'm trying to say. It's just full of Zenkais. Right now, there's so many Zenkais that are just broken. And if you look at my tier list, which is my last video, like 7 of the top 8 units are Zenkais. And it's just sad to see. Like this team, who's going to want to run into this team with a 2-star UI Goku and a 2-star Vegeta Blue and a 2-star Gogeta Blue? You're going to get pummeled. You're going to get destroyed because Zenkais have double the stats, double the boost panels. And you kind of need to understand that what they are intending with Zenkais is that everyone's going to have a Zenkai. Just get that into your head. Zenkais aren't going away, and I know everyone wants to, you know, stop Zenkais and whatever. They're not going to go anywhere. Everyone's going to have a Zenkai, so what that means is that basically, let's take Gogeta in, for example. This guy is never going to get touched or buffed ever again. That's it for him. He's got his Zenkai. That's it, finished. That's where he's going to stay. So that's pretty much it. I mean, he's at the point where he's capped out pretty much. So that's why he's got a Zenkai. They're not going to, you know, buff him again. So balance changes were removed because of that. Because you can just keep adding buffs to a balance change and changing a guy's kit. But with a Zenkai, you're giving him his 2 unique abilities, his Zenkai buff, his stat increase, and that's it. And he's never going to get touched again. So everyone in this game, as you can see here, is going to get a Zenkai. All these units are going to get Zenkai, maybe not heroes and maybe not all the extremes, but every sparking sooner or later will get a Zenkai. So you're going to start seeing boxes that are just full of Zenkais, and PvP is just going to be Zenkai fest, really. That's pretty much what it's going to be. So the intention of them releasing Zenkais is just to, you know, get people obviously to Zenkai them, but I just think people should focus more on Zenkais right now than they should on new units if you play PvP competitively. If you don't play PvP competitively, I completely understand you wanting to go and summon for a Gogeta Blue just because he's a nice unit to have. I am a bit of a collector, so I like summoning on banners, but it just makes no sense when you could just, instead of spending 20,000 crystals on Gogeta Blue and not getting him, like I've done this with Broly. I've literally done it with Broly. I'm over 20,000 crystals deep and I don't have him. And then you look at my Saiyans team, and I have 2 blue Zenkais that I can use right there that are honestly better than Broly. So why do I want to go for Broly more? It doesn't make sense. It kind of, I mean, it does because they got nice animations, all that kind of stuff, and everyone wants to use new units, because I really find it boring going into, you know, PvP and using the same units over and over again with old animations that already had their time in the meta a long time ago. I want to use new units, and I think people should stop spending on banners right now because the balance is completely incorrect. I mean, Zenkais are too good and too cheap for what they are. And new units aren't good enough. Like, quite frankly, that's just the way it is. They aren't good enough. And if you want to get a unit to 6 stars, you're going to spend a lot of crystals when you could just, you know, Zenkai a unit and that's it. I just don't see the point in spending on banners. It's just really not. It's not good. It's not good. The way the game is right now in terms of how they've balanced the meta and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm not a fan, and that's why I say just don't Zenkai. I mean, don't summon on banners. It's best to just Zenkai a unit, and that's pretty much it. Because we do have these missions right here, where you can just buy a unit and get him Zenkai'd for 2,000 crystals. Do you think you're gonna pull a Gogeta Blue with 2,000 crystals? Probably not. You think you're gonna get him with 7,000 crystals, which is what a Zenkai costs? Probably not. So yeah, I mean, make of it what you will. This is just my opinion, and of course, if you guys want to summon on banners, go ahead. I mean, I do it as well, but I'm planning on not going as deep as I usually would because it really doesn't make sense. Zenkais are really just the best investment you can make because they're guaranteeing you a top tier unit that you're going to use game in and game out and just have fun because you're going to win. And if you don't win, you don't have fun. And I'd rather have a 14-star God Vegeta than I would a 3-star Gogeta Blue in PvP. That's all I'm going to say. Of course, if I'm going into story mode, which I have completely finished, I'd rather use units that I just enjoy using, like Gogeta Blue, like, you know, the UI Goku, like the Pride Troopers. But in PvP, when it's time to get down to business, the best units are Zenkai. So that's the point I'm trying to make. But like I said, just do whatever you feel is best for you. I personally am going to stop summoning on banners. I just don't see the point. Because you could just save up 14,000 crystals a month free to play, which is pretty easy to do, and guarantee yourself 2 Zenkais every single month. It makes sense. It makes sense to do it. It is very, it takes a lot of resources up and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're going to get a much better account with much better characters, and if you do want to take PvP seriously, if you don't already, it's the way to go. You just Zenkai units and use and abuse them, and that's pretty much it. And that's the point I wanted to make. Obviously, legendary finish Zenkais, when they get released, if you don't have a unit, like I'm missing 4 legendary finish units, that just proves how hard it is to get them. I don't know how I have Vegeta Blue at 9 stars, but other than him, my legendary finish characters aren't really that high starred, and then, you know, like as you can see here, I'm missing 4. So yeah, I've summoned a lot, and I have summoned a lot on banners, and it just shows that it's not, you know, the way to go, because you can summon loads and loads and loads and not get a legendary finish unit, or you could just spend 7,000 or 8,000 crystals on a Zenkai and get a guaranteed top tier unit that's gonna win you fights. So that's what I wanted to say. I do hope you enjoyed. Like I said, if you do want to summon on a banner, go ahead and do it, because that is ultimately your decision. It's your account. You do what you want with it. I'm just here to advise you guys to say what I would do if I was in a competitive environment and what I am going to do from now on, because I just think it's the best thing to do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you did, make sure you smash a like, subscribe if you are new around here for more content like this, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.